Hello students, it's Professor Del Russo again, and in this audio nugget I want to share with you what Child Advocacy Centers are. You may have heard me refer to them throughout the many audio casts and throughout this semester. Sometimes they're called CACs or Advocacy Centers, or more commonly the full name, Child Advocacy Centers. Now, a Child Advocacy Center is, generally speaking, a space where there are professionals gathered to investigate abuse and neglect of children. That's the law enforcement model. And they can be law enforcement centric or medical centric or child protection centric. In other words, there are child advocacy centers that are adjuncts or part of a hospital, a children's hospital, for example. The Children's Hospital of San Diego has a beautiful child advocacy center. They can be prosecutor-based, like the one that I worked at the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office, or they can be a center that's county-based, co-located, where all the disciplines have some role or some space. And the idea is one-stop shopping. So what we mean by that is at the center, there'll be space for law enforcement, for police, for prosecutors. There'll be space for child protection, for DIFUS workers and social workers. There will be space for the sexual assault nurse examiner. You may have heard of the nurse examiner referred to as the SANE nurse. SANE is the acronym for sexual assault nurse examiner. And in New Jersey and in many states, there are highly trained, specialized nurses, and these nurses do physical examinations of children who may have been sexually abused. They do medical evaluations. There may also be space for the pediatrician. The Child Advocacy Center that's co-located has space for all of the disciplines, all of the institutions and agencies who have an interest in whether this child was abused or not. And that's generally what a Child Advocacy Center is. You're going to see a short clip from a criminal trial where, at the time, Francine Raguso testified in court before a jury and described the Child Advocacy Center in her words to the jury. And I think this can be helpful for you to see how a professional would describe it in a very serious criminal case.
And by the center, you mean the Child Advocacy Center?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the Child Advocacy Center while you're at it.
The Child Advocacy Center is set up for children that are under the age of 12, and it's basically a residential home. When you walk into the first floor, there's a waiting area with a TV and toys for the kids to play, couches, little tables, things of that. It's separated by a door, still on the first floor. There's 2 private offices in the back, along with a bathroom. Those are both separated by doors. If you walk upstairs, there's an interview room, which is to the right, and that room basically just has an easel and a chest that has anatomical dolls in it, if I do use those. And then in the room next to it holds all our technical equipment, the video equipment, and whoever for that day will be monitoring the technical equipment.
And are all interviews of children under the age of 12 that allege this kind of abuse conducted here?
Yes.
And why is this so?
They're all conducted up there in that interview room. That's where all my interviews are videotaped and recorded.
And why have the interview at the Child Advocacy Center as opposed to someplace else like a police station?
We feel at the Child Advocacy Center it's less intimidating, less traumatic for a child to walk into a house which is child-friendly than walk into a detective bureau.